My name is David Studwell. I'm an artist living in London. A lot of my work kind of revolves around the theme of celebrity. I actually went to an exhibition that David Katz was having in Camden. So David had roughly about 20-odd photographs in there of his. And the one that kind of caught my eye was Amy Winehouse. And I saw a lot of potential in the image and how it could be turned into a screen print. We discussed it and just took it from there, really, and that's how it kind of came about. London and the UK is kind of saturated with Amy Winehouse images. What interested me about this image was that it's really not as well known as the others. It's also got some innocence, it's got a kind of cute, innocent quality to it. It's before she became really, really huge. So it's good to get something a bit different, really, for me. Working with David, it's interesting for the fundamental reason that, he's legally blind. And that's interesting for me because, he's been a photographer and he's done that for a long time. He's taken all these great pictures. It brings just a really nice human element to the story. And it's also great, there's a kind of foundation charity attached, which is also a nice aspect, which means we can kind of raise money between us for the charity. It's just a nice element just to bring to the table.
My name's David Katz, and for many years I was a professional press photographer. So the Amy Winehouse background was that she was asked by a young professionals charity to perform for them to raise money. At this point she was actually on the verges of superstardom. She was very well known. Even I knew who she was at that point. I knew that it was going to be a very exclusive event, that there would only be 2 photographers allowed and there would only be 1 allowed actually to stay and photograph her performing. I was actually very excited to hear her sing live for the first time. Everybody knew at that point she was destined for superstardom. The shame was that the people who were at the event were actually talking through her first song, which was very disappointing. And she had a reputation for being a bit explosive, but she was actually very, very polite when she asked them if they would mind not talking through the next song. And they continued to talk. I was becoming very frustrated because although I was getting good pictures, I could see she was getting perturbed and wanted to come off stage. She asked politely again one more time. They continued. She finished her song very professionally, which was the 3rd song. There would have been a lot more, and she politely said thank you very much, and she came off stage. I was very disappointed, not at her, but at the people in the audience. And I'm sure in hindsight, knowing what they missed out on and the fact that she passed at such a young age, I'm sure they'd be very disappointed in their own behaviour. I was very in awe of her performance. You know, as a photographer, when you're in the presence of greatness, and I knew that this was going to be one of those times. What obviously none of us knew at the time was that her life was going to be so short. She was a genius, and I feel very privileged and honoured that I was able to photograph her. The collaboration is something that I'm very proud of. This picture was taken many years ago, and David, through his interpretation, has taken it to a new level, and it allows people to speak about it, and it allows us to be able to advocate for the work that the foundation is doing in relation to empowering visually impaired children and their parents to know what's possible, specifically, in this case, through the collaboration between David's fantastic artwork and my photography.